Well, hey, bitch. What's going on? Listen, you know I ain't talking. Mhm. You know I ain't talking unless you giving me likes. You commenting? Is you subscribing? Oh, okay. Well, get into some things. Mm. We're gonna be talking about more Real Housewives of Atlanta, so let us get into it. First of all, y'all know we was sitting around here waiting for our lives for Miss Kenya Moore to come down to the YouTube talking about she finna give her confessions. These are my confessions because they did not give her any over on Real Housewives of Atlanta. Shame on y'all. Shame on y'all. Y'all could at least gave her an exit interview. Damn. Ugh. Anyway, honey. They did her wrong, and she did us wrong because, ma'am, you done came down to the Instagram talking about you about to go on YouTube and go live, and you ain't even give us a time for real. I was sitting over here like, now when is this supposed to happen? Has anybody seen anything? Am I on the wrong channel? Am I on the wrong page? Well, actually, we all were, okay, because it looks like she created a completely different IG. I'm sorry, not IG, but YouTube. It is called Kenya Moore Official. I believe at first it may have said Official Kenya Moore or something, but the new channel is Kenya Moore Official. And baby, she came and she brought us this video right here. Now I'm gonna play a few seconds of it, but I ain't trying to get flagged, okay? So we're gonna check out just a little piece of it. I'm gonna cut it off. Okay.
To a divide, I'm gonna get it on the floor.
You really about to do it?
40 acres in the mule. This is bigger than the music.
You really about to do it?
Yeah, they
But you can't fake influence. Then get on it like that. Right through the back, like, yeah, mustard on the beat hoe. And she got on mustard. Okay? Mustard on the beat hoe. And she showed that ring. So I don't know if this is her coming to us, letting us know that her and Mark don't reconcile, which is why this divorce is taking so damn long, because they be up and down, in and out. That's what love is all about. Always leaves both of us. Come on, Deborah Cox. Come on, up and down, in and out. Anywho, I'm about to play that later because that's my jam. Okay. Anywho, y'all don't know nothing about Deborah Cox, so don't even act like you do. Period. That's the only time I get sentimental. Anywho. So listen, all right, that's not what we're here for. We're here for Miss Kenya Moore, all right? And Miss Ma'am is giving us more promo because it's giving Kenya Moore hair spa, period. And she is now letting us know that she will be dropping this Friday at 8 p.m. over on her YouTube channel, Kenya Moore Official. Listen, I want to hear what Kenya Moore has to say. Please make absolutely no mistakes about it. I want to hear what Kenya has to say. But is it bad that I want to see her on the show more than I want to hear what she has to say? I don't think it's bad. Okay. If you feel like it is bad, girl, it's because you don't like Kenya, probably. Okay. Anywho. But I don't want her to say anything that's going to put her in a position like Nene Leakes or something, to where the relationship is super strained with the network. You know, I would love to see her return in the future, if not next season. So I just hope that she's more calculated. She thinks more about what she really wants to go into this live. I don't know if it's going to be actually live. Being that it's going to be on a Friday night at 8 p.m., girl, I feel like this going to be a pre-record because ain't no motherfucking way. Okay. Unless we finna get a little piece of Brooklyn. Is Brooklyn going to be on there? All right. I feel like you're going to be trying to wind Brooklyn down for bed on a Friday night. Okay. On a Friday night. She's going to be trying to wind her down. So I don't think Kenya's going to go live. I think that and it's just an awkward time, right? To go live or to drop a video on a Friday at 8 p.m. when people are, hell, she Kenya Moore. The people going to tune in. And if they don't tune in that day, they're going to tune in the next one. Kenya. She says they had plenty to say, and now it's my turn. This Friday on YouTube, I'm addressing the mess, the rumors, and the real story. Oh, and I have receipts. Now, I don't know. She says she's going to be unfiltered, so I don't know who she's coming at. I feel like she may address some things with Miss Bristol Eady. Yes, Brit and Pistol. Miss Bristol Eady. I think that she may address some things with her. And I want to hear what she has to say. So I am torn. I want to hear what Kenya says. I want to know how she feels. I really do. But I don't want it to put her in jeopardy or anything when it comes to the network and her returning to the show. Unless she's like, F that show. I'm cool on that show. Period. So we'll see. But that's what's going on. Y'all let me know if y'all are going to be tuned in. What do you think that she's going to let us know? You know, and girl, when she said, I think this was the perfect song, first of all, for her to do this intro. I think this was the perfect song. All right. It's a cultural divide, period. They tried to rig the game, but you can't fake influence, rig the game, meaning y'all sat up there, got this woman off the show, and then turned around, honey. Yes, turned around and only allowed us to get a clear eye view when it came to Brit's opinion and how she feels about what happened, but we didn't get any confessionals from Kenya. Any, like the way they did Kenya, in my personal, was wrong. Like even Cynthia Bailey is a part of the show, and she's getting even Ralph, Wreck-It Ralph, him downstairs gets a confessional. I feel like that was a slap in the face and more disrespect. But baby, we're gonna get into some things, okay? We're gonna get into more because I do want to get into this video and capture something that Don Juan said. And give me just a second, okay? But that's what's going on with Miss Kenya Moore. She's coming down. I think that was the perfect song. You can't fake influence. You can't. All right. Miss Ma'am is feeling like she that woman when she walk. I be feeling like the man when I walk through. Y'all got Miss Bristol Eady feeling like she's the woman when she walk through. And I'm not saying she shouldn't feel like she's the woman when she walk through. I do, in my opinion. I think she's a beautiful woman, despite what people may say. I think she's a beautiful woman. I think that it was an unfortunate situation of what happened. So, if she wants to feel, I mean, you got people that's hyping her up, making her feel like she's a great, like, listen, if she want, do what you gonna do. I'm gonna clock what I need to clock accordingly. But aside from that, if she want to feel like she the man when she walk, I mean, the woman when she walk, to feel like you the woman. Everybody gonna feel like that, okay? I mean, do what you do, girl. I'm not gonna fault her on that, you know? But what I will say, as I've said in a previous video, be mindful because these fans will have you effed up. And Nene already told y'all, and we already know this in this world. They'll have you thinking that you up, and then they'll be quick to put you in your place and put you down and let you know that you're not that girl. You're not giving that like you thought that you was going to be giving that. Miss Ma'am, Suzanne, Toucan Sam, okay? We just want to let you know right out the gate, all right? So be mindful of, okay? Do you. But at any moment, it can switch up. Anywho, honey, I want us to go ahead and slide over here. Shout out to Housewife for my housewife over here on Instagram for capturing this audio, and I want to get into it. Don Juan, who works very closely with Kandi Burruss, has his opinions on this Kenya Moore situation, all right? Has his opinions on this Kenya Moore situation, why he feels like she's not there or whatever it is. So, actually, this is the wrong one. Let me get to the correct one. Here we are. Sorry about that, guys. I want us to hear what he has to say. So let's get into it.
I'm saying to you, I don't really care. I don't care about your opinion. You don't know all of the facts. I don't know all of the facts. I'm telling you that she did, for a TV purposes, what people would do in TV land. Because what you will know is this.
Before he even finishes, I agree right out the gate that what Kenya did is what people would typically do in TV land. Now, it's so you find it distasteful. We get it. I didn't like it. I'll be honest. But I say that because of the history of Bravo. But then in addition to that, when you listen to the ladies, when Porsha has talked, when Cynthia has talked, they never expected the network to do anything. So when they found out that Kenya was no longer on the show, they were surprised because typically they don't do So now for them to take it to that far, to that extent where they're like, oh, yeah, nah, we're going to have to sit you down, baby. Everybody was shocked by that because that's not something they typically do.
Bravo let go of Kenya probably for two reasons. They did not let go of Kenya Moore, in my personal opinion, because what they felt she did was a bad thing. They let go of Kenya Moore for one reason. I mean, two reasons, but here's the first. What she did, they did not want to be held liable for someone breaching what could be considered a morality clause or what could be considered harassment. And that is part of their code of conduct because it could go back to bite them later. And so they had to make a decision based off of a liability for them in the bigger scheme. It was not because they cared about Brit Eady. Sorry. No disrespect to them. I'm just a businessman. The second part of it was they looked and said, if I can let go of her and Brit is willing to do some of the work and I can pay a penny of what I'm paying Kenya Moore, I'm going to go with that. I don't know how this season is going to play out. I am going to pay her a penny of what I can pay and see if I can still get the same results and go from there. I'm saying to you,
listen,
I don't really care.
1000% makes sense to me, bitch. 1000% makes sense to me. Okay, not so much as they care for Brit Eady or whatever, or that they did not like what Kenya did. It was more so the morality clause. I could see that being the case in harassment, teetering the lines of what could potentially get them sued, I suppose, or whatever. So primarily that. So they had to sit her down. But I don't feel like they had to sit her down completely. I feel like if Porsha said Kenya was remorseful at the time after everything happened, I think Miss Bristol Eady was open to receiving that apology at that time. But according to Porsha, I don't know, y'all. You know, Porsha said that Kenya was remorseful when it happened. So they just immediately wrote her out. And I feel like to take it that far instead of trying to, you know, resolve it of some sort, I think the latter makes sense. Like, because even with Kandi, remember earlier that year when Kandi decided not to return to the show, she said they were taking forever to let people know whether they were going to bring people back. They were taking forever. And Kandi was like, with her wanting to do other things and excel in other places, she decided to take a step back. So I think, I think money had something to do with it, which is why they were kind of like on edge about what they wanted to do. Didn't they also cancel some shows last year as well? So I think money may have had something to do with it. So when it came to Kenya Moore, it was likely given, let me see if we'll get this person. And she'll do a grunt of the work for less. And we could probably bring Phaedra on for not as much as we were paying Kenya. Possibly, okay? Possibly. That's a possibility. I don't know, but that's what Don Juan mentions, all right? Now, with the Don Juan saying that, and we're still on Miss Brit, Miss Bristol Eady, I want us to get into something because Giorgio says did a breakdown on her website. She is an insurance agent. She also was offering a master class for people to come and take those classes and things to learn how to do what she does. And he kind of highlighted some stuff, all right? And I want us to get into what he said as well as some things that Claudia Jordan said earlier on. But let's check out what Giorgio had to say first.
Sure what happened here, but there was another poster.
Matter of fact, let me go to Giorgio's page and see is this it? Let's see, is this the post that he made?
Well, not sure what happened here, but there was another poster board that really stood out to me that was not shown. Do you guys remember when this all went down and people that were at this event were leaking photos from the situation? And there was a photo here of a poster board that said insurance fraud ho. And then there's some text and some article. You obviously can't read it, but last night's episode, we see Angela kind of call out Brit, not for lying so much, but asking her, well, why would they just take your license away without cause? What was the cause? And then obviously we saw her snap. But essentially, we know that she doesn't have her insurance agency anymore. And in fact, she was with Allstate under, their umbrella for 3 years before she ended up selling that agency. And now she has a whole agency, as she calls it, called Jumpstart or Agency Jumpstart. It's basically a masterclass on how you can be a successful insurance agent, owner, whatever, by following her blueprint. And you guys know I'm very nosy. You guys know this. So I went through and I dug through the entire website. I went through disclaimers, refund policy, went through all the bits. I did everything except buy this masterclass. And here are all the major red flags. And I'm going to say this up front. Don't ever buy anyone's course, okay? Don't. Most of the time, the things that are in those courses you can find online. You just got to do a little bit more digging. But if you really want to learn, the information is out there.
I agree with that. And child, the way they be having Chat GPT, you about to find everything that your ass need to find.
Now let's get into this website and
including shit on her website.
all the red flags. So first thing that stood out to me, this entire website, everything about this masterclass is so super vague. No clear outline of any of the deliveries, of the formats or modules or any of that stuff. So essentially the user has no way of assessing the value of this product before opening their wallets. Red flag number 2, no verified reviews or testimonials, not even any fake ones from any of her friends. I mean, no students have bought your course yet. I mean, I think this website opened in 2023 or something, or at least that's when the
Giorgio chose so much violence. Like, what the hell? Giorgio chose so much violence with this video, talking about some not even a friend did a review. I mean, I think that is a valid point, though. You know, you want to know when people often put these courses out, or even when they're trying to do like a class where you come into the classroom. What I'm thinking about is when people would do like the lashes back, like when people would do like I think it was like during the pandemic at some point, where everybody want to be a lash tech, do the lashes or do the eyebrows, micro, whatever, you know, doing all of that. And it's like, where are the reviews at? Yeah, we see you getting people into the room and stuff, and you're teaching them a little here or there, teaching them a little bit this, teaching them a little bit of that, in like maybe a few days or even one day. But I feel like that was one of the quick scams, because everybody knows. That's why you kind of go to school, because you need repetition in order to really, really learn something, versus just like a get rich quick 1 week class or 1 or 2 day class. Like, it's something that you need to do consistently over and over and over and over and over. And I mean, because I knew somebody that took one of those lash class, paid so much money, and she got all of the equipment and things that she need, and she just pretty much wasted her money because she didn't do anything else with it. You know, I think that she needed more work, likely, you know. And it makes me think about, remember that time when people were doing these empowerment brunches, women empowerment brunches? Hey Leticia, how are you? When they were doing these empowerment brunches, and I mean, for what? Like, I mean, they're empowering you for the moment, but then you just spend $300 just to be in a room with a person, and you ain't even exercised nothing that they said a week later. Like, how empowering were they? You know, in my personal. So it's definitely, it's just different ways people be over here running up scams. But all in all, when these things are happening and people are, you know, doing these classes or websites or whatever, it's like, baby, where's the reviews? Can we lead with that on the website? Lead with that. And then not even just the reviews of words, because they could be friends and associates and stuff. Like, people may get folks to go over on Google reviews and, hey, do this for me and drop that for me or whatever. Like, can we get some videos? Can we get some real live people telling their experience of what happened and how they were able to truly be successful from getting your help? Let's keep going.
The disclaimer was written, and there's no social proof, nobody, not even a Facebook group, nothing. There is a very much heavy reliance on her personal success, although she doesn't really map out what those actually are. So here's what I'm gonna say. If you actually want to be an insurance agent or own your own agency, if you just contact State Farm, Allstate, Nationwide, any of them, they have programs where they will essentially teach you everything you need to know and then help you open your agency for free. It's very limited contact information on there, so it's very vague. There's no phone number, there's no physical address, and it comes off more like a sales funnel website rather than an actual like educational platform, because they use these buzzwords like once in a lifetime opportunity and get my secret sauce. There's not even any real educational credentials as she's listed. And I know she went to college, so at the very least you could put that in there. Or at least talk about your experiences when you had your own agency as an insurance agent. But this is the best part. Strictly no refunds, guys. That's right. You're not going to be able to see anything about how the course works until you buy it. But if you get in there and realize this is all stuff I could have Googled, well, too bad, so sad. And if you buy into any of her subscription models and you try it out for 2 days and you're like, this has no value, well, you're still going to be stuck paying the entire month. There's no prorated refunds either. And in the disclaimer, these are also red flags. They are saying we have zero accountability for anything you see in there, or if the links that we have to other places to give you the information and they do something shady, we are not responsible, so don't come over here. And I've not seen any type of press or any type of media surrounding this company, whatever it is. So again, I wonder, is this going to be a theme throughout the season? Is this where the ladies start to pick up on maybe there's something off about this girl? Well, not sure what happened here, but
I wonder, and I more so want to know about Kelli, because Kelli is the one that's been friends with her for a good bit of time. So how are you going to feel? Like, what are you going to be learning about her that's going to disappoint you? Like, what's really good? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what I want to know about the fallout. Is she going to learn something about her? I don't know. So, yeah, but we're going to get into the review. We're going to get into the review. And by the time this video goes up, I do believe the review may have already been up. And if you haven't watched the review, make sure that you go and you check it out. But in the meantime, in between time, let's get into more. So after this was said, as well as what Claudia Jordan said, let's get into what she says.
So before you get all panties in a bunch, Brit, I don't like you on the show. I think you bring very much ghetto energy.
Now wait a minute, Claudia. I ain't know you was gonna come out swinging like that now. Damn, I wouldn't expect Claudia to just clap and clap. Whoa.
I can't take your very nasally sounding nose, the way you talk. It's just like, whoever did that, please open up those nasal passages. It's too much. Like, it's like, how does your
Let me say this. Sometimes I have to stop, and I'm sorry, Claudia, I'm gonna have to use this right here. Okay. Sometimes when we do this commentary and we might somewhat drag a person, and I've been doing better with not doing those things. This is just me. Okay. I try, girl, but some of y'all get tagged and red. But anyway, and then when you see somebody, because how I see Claudia as a professional, and she has access to different things, she's on different networks and do different stuff or whatever. So to see her come down here and drag somebody like she did, and we ain't even 10 seconds in, it makes me feel a little piece of good. Because it made me feel like I ain't that bad. All right. So if I'm clocking folks, and I may say a few things about, people, I feel like it's okay. Okay. That doesn't mean all doors are closed. Some doors may still be open for me to walk through because people ain't all the way mad about what I said. You know what I'm saying? Okay, because clearly Claudia still get to go sit down and watch what happens live and all this other stuff. Meanwhile, she down here dragging the shit out of this lady. So I don't feel too bad. And I ain't even much say nothing bad about Brit. Okay, I appreciate Claudia for keeping it honest and real and my personal, and letting me and reminding me that I'm not, I could be, I'm not saying Claudia is bad in this moment at all. I'm not saying she's bad, but it just makes me think of my commentary could be much worse like it used to be, and it's not. You know what I'm saying? But I have nothing negative to say about the few words that she is starting to get into. Let me refresh so we can get it from the beginning. Okay.
So before you get all panties in a bunch, Brit, I don't like you on the show. I think you bring very much ghetto energy. I can't take your very nasally sounding nose, the way you talk. Jesus. It's just like, whoever did that, please open up those nasal passages. It's too much. Like, it's like, how does your husband's a saint? I don't like you anymore. The way you bucked him. How we are protecting Angela Oakley and all costs, by all means. Okay. The way Angela didn't even ask me anything that was negative or mean. She said, "I'm a broker too. Like, how does that happen?" And I did my research. Well, a little bit of research. There's a LinkedIn page for Brit and her company that she was doing her insurance stuff with, right? And I contacted a real estate agent and also someone that is in the mortgage brokerage business, Brit Eady. According to her LinkedIn page, she was with Allstate full time, and that was from January of 2020 to April of 2023, 3 years and 4 months. So it says that she's been done doing it. So I don't know if she lost her license from this incident or she just, I don't know. And I also talked to someone that said, I said, so can you lose your license is there like clauses for personal behavior and all that kind of stuff? Like, what do they call those?
Morality clause.
Morality clauses.
My friend that
Wait,
is,
Paul. So are you saying this lady is suspended? I mean, she ain't no agent right now, which is why she's hosting the classes because she can show y'all how to do it, but she's not actively one at this moment. Girl, I'm done. I can't. Y'all, I can't. Bravo. This is VH1. Get back. Don't put your hands on. This is VH1 activity. I'm just letting you know. Don't be upset with me. Be upset with your casting. Okay, this is a lot.
it was my loan said no. There are strippers that do all kinds of OnlyFans, all that kind of stuff that have these licenses that they don't lose their jobs. So that is bullshit. They said she would lose her license for financial crimes, fraud, things of that matter. Not if and think how fast this happened, right? We are all just seeing the episode now. This happened when it happened. So you mean to tell me between that the Kenya Moore hair care event and then a month later your company knew about this big scandal that was at a private event and you lost your license? I think she's playing the victim card extra hard now. Like she sees an opening, she tried to comfort the queen in her mind. That didn't really pan out the way she thought. She got read down and made to look like erratic. So now let me play this victim card thing. And did you see how her mother was looking at it when she was telling her story? Her mother was looking at like, then at the end, she realized, oh, I'm on TV. That girl, because you're pretty. And, they hate on you because you're pretty, girl. But I look at her mother's face. Go back. Her mother was like, here we go again. That's what I got. That's what I got from that. But
to be fair.
So before you get all panties in a bunch, Brit, I don't like you on the
Girl, listen, that's what I got too. When she said she's leaning more into this victim role, baby, listen to me. And it's like I wanna sympathize, empathize, whatever, as a woman. However, it's a little, yikey dikey. Okay, it's a little yikey dikey, but anywho. And let's go ahead and keep going because Brit does go on and it leads her to make this post, okay? And what Brit says is obsession, verb, past tense, obsessed, past participial, obsessed, I'm sorry, past particle. No, I said it right, participial. Okay, so she says obsessed, preoccupy or fill the mind of someone continually, intrusively, and to a troubling extent. She put in quotation marks, keep talking about me. Y'all fans / trolls are obsessed. I'm every blog's clickbait at this point, all right? So that is what she said, honey. That is crazy. That's what Brit is saying. She's every blog's clickbait at this point, but make no mistakes. The only reason why you are a conversation is because of the Kenya Moore. Okay? In all honesty, all right? That is the reason why. Don't get too hyped up, okay? Don't do that. But there's that, I don't know. I just wish good luck, girl. Good luck, Miss Brit. I feel like when she said that she was speaking directly to Claudia and she was talking to Giorgio and maybe a few others, but I feel like if you are, I guess, a piece of clickbait, I mean, you want us to talk about the show. You tell people to watch the show. You want them to talk about the show, right? That's what they're going to do. And of course, they're going to make their money from it. Okay, period. But aside from that, be worried when they ain't talking about your ass no more. Okay, but good luck, ma'am. Anywho, let's get into Kelli because shout out to Reality Chat because Kelli talks with Bassett about Bristol's comments. So let us see what Kelli had to say about that.
You and Angela both had pivotal moments on the show. She had the dinner at the bank, obviously, where all that went down with Kenya and Brit. And one of the questions people had was, how could you not hear Brit make that comment about the pistol? I think a lot of people were like, but you were right there, Kelli. Are you sure you didn't hear it? And you did not hear her say that.
So this is the deal.
Okay.
I was in the bathroom.
Okay.
I was in the bathroom getting demiked with them sheer Mugler pants on, trying to use the bathroom. And it was a lot of commotion going down when I was in the hallway.
Okay.
When I came back out, I was then remiked, and it was still commotion going on.
Okay.
When she made that comment I did not assume she was speaking to Kenya or about Kenya. I assumed she was saying that because we were in Bankhead.
Yeah.
Everybody had already made this whole thing about, oh my God, from Buckhead to Bankhead.
You and Angela both had pivotal moments on the show.
How we going to Bankhead to the bank, right? So of course, you know, I bring my security with me everywhere I go, Big Kenny, for my safety and for the safety of others who are around me. So that's why when she said something about a pistol, I'm like, for what? Girl, we got Kenny here, and your husband should be pulling up to come and get you, because she didn't ride with me. Her husband picked her up and dropped her off, right? So that's why it didn't click to me that she was talking about a pistol for Kenya at that time. No, I that's why I was like, no, not a pistol like to harm her. I'm assuming like for safety because we were in Bankhead. That's why I was like, no, Kenny, you don't need that.
Right. I
would never agree to dealing with the things I have dealt with in my past. I would never agree to a firearm and someone like hurting someone in that manner. How are we going to Bankhead to the bank?
Let me go back to the
She
first.
had the dinner at the bank, obviously, where all that went down with Kenya and Brit. And one of the questions people had was, how could you not hear Brit make that comment about the pistol? I think a lot of people were like, but you were right there, Kelli. Are you sure you didn't hear it? And you did not hear her say that.
So this is the deal.
Okay.
I was in the bathroom.
Okay.
Boom. Let's pause. Kelli, I'm gonna call BS right here. And make no mistakes, Kelli. When I call you on your BS, I still likes you though. I still likes you a lot. And I understand if you may feel like, oh, well, you know, I didn't think it was directed at Kenya. That wasn't the question. The question wasn't whether, you know, you heard Bristol say something about her pistol and whether it was directed at, I'm sorry. The question wasn't about whether Bristol's pistol comment was directed at Kenya. The question was whether you heard her say it. So now you're saying you were in the bathroom trying to get unmiked, all of this, that, whatever, right? So when you come to the front, she says something, you're talking about your security, and she's like, I got my pistol, but you didn't think that it was directed towards Kenya? I beg to, I don't believe that. I don't believe that, because she continued to talk her shit. She continued to say fly stuff about Kenya. And here's the other thing. Porsha had just said on her channel that, you know, although y'all saw a little bit of what happened, those girls, Kenya and Bristol, went back and forth for almost 2 hours. And even if the time was exaggerated, they went on back and forth for a minute. In my opinion, for you to come back and notice she still had an issue with Kenya, so for her talking about a pistol. Like, the question was whether you heard the comment. At first you said you didn't hear the comment. And then now you're telling us that you didn't think that it was directed towards Kenya. So I guess maybe her memory got jogged. Like, oh, yeah, she did say that. I do remember her saying that. But I didn't know she was talking about Kenya. Maybe it was one of those situations. I don't know. But I do call it a little piece of BS, even though I still like you, girl. I still like you. But it is what it is. It is what it is, because their production tell it they didn't hear shit either. Only for them to have caught it all on camera. Crazy work, all right? But good luck, okay? And then you already saw the whole scene outside when she was talking all that SHI and still talking about what all she had. Weren't you over there with her husband trying to help her get on mic? So you didn't at any point think that it was directed? Stop playing. Stop playing. Stop playing, mamas. Stop playing. Stop playing, girl. Stop playing. But anywho, I think that's all that I got at this particular time. All right. There is a scene, a sneak peek for next week, but we won't worry about getting into that. I'll leave you guys to have your conversations and things down in the comments below. Of course, I'm Jami, that's me. Like, comment, subscribe, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.
Yeah, tell him I preach to the choir. Stand with my feet to the fire. Give all the glory to God. Stand in the midst of these haters, I'm silent, nobody can stop me. Just gotta check in my notification, them numbers hit like it's a proxy. Cashed out at the ATM, and the ATL, they done made a gym. I've been kicking doors like the ATF, got them trying to clone me like Agent Smith. Game time, I invaded gym, high elevated, I can face the rim. Putting shots up, I got laser focus, about to take it over, I'm Invader Zim. On a trip to Florida like it's A&M. Who that nigga, man, they say I'm him. Spit the truth, never wasted film, I can feel the pool.